If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. The sport of fox hunting continues to generate considerable controversy to this day. But a bigger debate is whether a fox has any relation to a cat or a dog. If you're fond of foxes, The Fox and the Hound is a pretty good movie. It talks about how two different species of animals can become friends until the fox is discriminated against because the farmer wants to kill it. So, without further ado, here are 15 fascinating facts about foxes that you definitely should know. Foxes are members of the Canidae family, which means they are related to wolves, jackals, and dogs. They are medium-sized, weighing anywhere between 2 and 24 pounds, with pointy faces, lithe frames, and bushy tails. Unlike their canid relatives, foxes are not pack animals. When raising their young, they live in small families, called a leash of foxes or a skulk of foxes, in underground burrows. Otherwise, they hunt and sleep alone. Like a cat, the fox is most active after the sun goes down. It has vertically oriented pupils so it can see in dim light, and it hunts by stalking and pouncing on its prey. The fox also has sensitive cat-like whiskers and spines on its tongue. It walks on its toes, which accounts for its elegant, feline-like tread. The gray fox even has semi-retractable claws, making it the only member of the dog family that can climb trees. It has been known to sleep in the branches, just like a cat. Although there are 37 animals called foxes, only 12 are considered true foxes, meaning they are calcified in the genus Vulpes. Some of these include the red, Arctic, fennec, and kit foxes. True foxes have flattened skulls, triangular snouts, and fluffy tails, but it's common to be confused when seeing one in real life. Research found that while nature lovers can identify most North American mammals, they frequently mix foxes up with other canids, like coyotes. Geographically, the red fox has the widest range of any of the 280 animals in the order Carnivora. While its natural habitat is a mixed landscape of scrub and woodland, its flexible diet allows it to adapt to many environments. As a result, its range is the entire northern hemisphere, from the Arctic Circle to North Africa to Central America to the Asiatic steppes. It's even in Australia, where it's considered an invasive species. Like a guided missile, the fox harnesses Earth's magnetic field to hunt. Other animals, like birds, sharks, and turtles, have this magnetic sense, but the fox is the first one known to use it to catch prey. According to New Scientist, the fox can see the planet's magnetic field as a ring of shadow on its eyes that darkens as it moves toward magnetic north. When the shadow and the sound of prey lines up, it's time to pounce. Fox pups are born blind and don't open their eyes until 9 days after birth. During that time, they stay with the vixen, female, in the den while the dog, male, brings them food. They live with their parents until they are 7 months old. Vixens sometimes go to great lengths to protect their pups. Once, in England, a fox pup was caught in a wire trap for 2 weeks but survived because its mother brought it food every day. Foxes are known to play among themselves, as well as with other animals. But play also establishes social hierarchy, and it starts very young. Animal behaviorist Sandra Alvarez Betancourt studied thousands of hours of footage taken with an infrared camera of pup activity in the den. She discovered that the struggle for dominance starts as soon as the pups can walk. The play can be brutal and even fatal. 1 in 5 pups never make it out of the den. The cream-colored fennec fox is roughly the size of a kitten and lives in North African deserts, where it sleeps during the day to avoid the searing heat. The fox has a few adaptations that allow it to survive. Its elongated ears radiate body heat to keep the fox cool and allow it to hear prey, and its paws are covered with fur so that the fox can walk on hot sand, like it's wearing snowshoes. Although foxes are wild, their relationship with people goes way back. In 2011, researchers opened a grave in a 16,500-year-old Jordan cemetery to find the remains of a man and his pet fox. This was 4,000 years before the first known human and domestic dog were buried together. For instance, the Arctic fox's fur changes color according to the seasons, varying from a blue morph or a white morph. The white morph is brown or gray in summer and turns white when there's snow on the ground. The blue morph is dark gray or brown all year long. The red fox also comes in many colors, including silver, black, orange, or a mix of all three. While color variations happen naturally, people have bred foxes for their fur, leading to different patterns. These include the marble fox, which is white with gray or black streaks, the cross fox, which is red with back patches, and the pink champagne fox, which has peachy white fur and a pink nose. In 1959, a Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev conducted an experiment in domestication. He selectively bred silver foxes, picking only the ones that showed the least aggression toward humans. Within 10 generations, the foxes started seeking people out, licking hands, barking, and wagging their tails. White spots appeared on their coats and they developed floppy ears. It suggested genetic links between how domesticated animals look and act. While the experiment's methodology has been challenged, the study gave insight into how selective breeding affects domestication. Although wild animals should never be pets, thanks to Belyaev's experiment, domesticated foxes do exist. Unlike a tame fox, which has learned to tolerate humans, a domesticated fox is bred to be docile from birth. Laws for and access to pet foxes vary by location. They are reportedly curious and sweet-tempered, but also high energy and tend to get into everything. Some liken it to living with a 2-year-old. Note that unlike the foxes from the Siberian facility, foxes bred within the US are not actually domesticated or tame. In the 1960s, there was a rabies epidemic among foxes in Switzerland. Since rabies can be transferred to humans through an animal bite and can be fatal, it was a public health crisis. The government wanted to vaccinate foxes against rabies, but administering the doses by hand proved difficult and expensive. Instead, they started dropping vaccinated chicken heads on the countryside for the foxes to eat, 52,000 in all. From 1979 to 1984, chicken heads would rain down on the countryside, according to The Atlantic. It worked. Rabies disappeared, a testimony to the effectiveness of vaccines and to the fox's love of chicken. The Arctic fox, which lives in the northernmost parts of the hemisphere, can handle cold better than most animals on Earth. It doesn't shiver until temps reach -94 degrees Fahrenheit -70 degrees Celsius. Not only does the fox's thick fur hold in heat, the fox wraps its tail around its body like a blanket to keep warm. In autumn, they build up fat, sometimes increasing their body weight by half. This adds insulation and helps the fox survive the coldest days of winter, when food is scarce. The number of Arctic foxes is declining, and the reason may be the red fox. As temperatures increase, the red fox is moving into the Arctic tundra and competing for prey. Red foxes are superior hunters and, to make matters worse, they also eat Arctic foxes. None of this bodes well for the Arctic fox's future. Examples include the nine-tailed fox from various Asian cultures, the Reynard tails from medieval Europe, the sly trickster fox from Native American lore, and Aesop's The Fox and the Crow. Finnish lore says a fox made the northern lights by running in the snow so that its tail swept sparks into the sky. From this, we get the phrase fox fires, though Firefox, like the Mozilla Internet browser, refers to the red panda. Some foxes can run up to 42 miles per hour, giving new meaning to the phrase quick like a fox. They are agile, able to jump 3 feet in the air and climb fences and over roofs, and have impressive endurance. One Arctic fox walked 2,700 miles from Norway to Canada in 3 months. That's over 30 miles a day. A study looking at urban foxes in London revealed something surprising: they are starting to look more like domesticated dogs. Compared to their rural relatives, London foxes have shorter snouts and smaller brains. While it's unclear why this is, the strange part is that the foxes are doing this to themselves. As evolutionary biologist Kevin Parsons explained to the BBC, this is the result of foxes that have decided to live near people, showing these traits that make them look more like domesticated animals. Foxes make 40 different sounds. The most startling, though, might be its scream, often heard in the middle of the night during the animal's mating season.